And we are live.
We're live.
There
Welcome to
we go.
Saturday Night Live.
I
Hey, that
I have
actually
no
doesn't
idea.
look bad there, though, to be honest.
The Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it really doesn't look bad there. I mean, I can see what you're saying. It's a little bit kind of stretched out looking, but it doesn't really look bad. And guess what? You
What are we
ready?
gonna we're gonna hit MMA?
Let's.
What portion of MMA do you want to hit first? Because there's so many different things that happen.
So many different things that happen. Let's talk about. Let's spend an hour on bare knuckle boxing.
Let's do it. Let's do it. How about that? Well, I mean, the thing was, it's a big event that happened at bare knuckle boxing. It didn't even have to do with a fight that is going to happen. Like
Yeah.
that fight hasn't even been put into place yet. It's
Yeah,
the fight was
no, they're
supposed to be
just trying to.
between Lobov and Jason Knight.
Yeah, they're just trying to drum it up. Drum it up a little bit, I guess. I mean, I can't even tell you two facts about that organization. One, is this their first ever event?
No, I do.
No.
I think freaking oh man, Big Rig. I think he fought and he got knocked out
Did
by.
he?
Didn't he
Oh,
get
that's
knocked
right.
out by a gay porn star?
Oh, okay, I remember you telling me
I
that.
think
I
that
don't know for
was.
sure, but I think you told me
I,
that.
let me look that up so I'm not just like spouting
Are
out
you
stuff.
are you a reliable source of information? I don't know. Do I
Big
know? I
Rig
don't know.
versus I. Let's see. Big Rig versus gay porn. So let's see what
Mm.
comes up when I
Well,
search this. And that's Pornhub. All right, we're
yep, that
going
is.
back.
Yeah, well, of course, if you type that in there, of course you're gonna
All
get
right.
that. What do you expect
What's
in
what's his
lags?
name? What was his name? Big
Oh, I
Rig.
don't. Johnny Hendricks.
Johnny Hendricks. If I search Johnny Hendricks versus a gay porn star, it's got to come up, right?
Yeah,
It's
this
got to
has to
come up.
come up. I can hear an
There we
echo of
go.
myself.
There we go. Johnny Hendricks is bare knuckle boxing a gay porn star this weekend. It happened November 8th. And then let's see the spoiler. I'm curious. I want to see what happened. It was Dakota Cochran.
Ooh, what a that has to be a stage name, right? That's got to be a
That's an
stage name.
amazing stage name.
That's totally a stage
Wait,
name.
they bare knuckle box in a oh I thought oh wow, yeah,
Okay,
wow.
so is
Yep.
this the bare knuckle? Okay, obviously we can't put it up or we'll get copyrighted. Is okay? Are they in a super tiny, like it's really
See,
small space,
that's
right?
what I thought it was. I thought they each had to put a foot in like a circle and they had to go
Yeah.
at it. But the one that he was in, um, there's a it's a ring.
Okay,
This
so
no,
this
okay,
is.
that's World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation.
Oh, okay. Because now that I'm remembering, I was working in the bar industry when the bare knuckle boxing came out, and they sent us like 10,000 posters. And I'm like, okay, we don't need these. We're not going to show this because we really only showed UFC. And I threw them all away. And then, of course, the big boss shows up. Hey, I had some posters delivered here. We're going to be showing the bare knuckle boxing. Where are they at, Matt? And I played dumb. I'm like, they never came, and blamed UPS. So,
Okay,
but I
so
remember it. But watched it. But they were in a super small circle, super small circle.
yeah, I'm looking up bare. Okay, Bare Knuckle FC because Beck Rawlings fought in it. This looks a lot smaller. I don't know if they step into that square or what the deal is. Let's see when it actually starts. Okay, yeah, it's not the smallest. I mean, it's a circle, but they have some room to move around. Uh it's not like what I was thinking. I literally thought that there was
Yeah,
one thing where they had to put a foot inside like a hula hoop size circle and
yeah.
they
See,
just had
that's
to
the
go
one I
at
think
it.
that I watched, and the fights were like, I think you could get the pay per view for like $10, $15 or something like that. And yeah, it was terrible. It was boring, and it was terrible.
This one's a little bigger. I mean, first of all, Artem has to get past Jason Knight.
He's got to. He has to. Jason Knight, stud. Absolute stud. Absolute. I've been a huge Jason Knight fan.
But
Of
Hick Diaz,
yes, exactly.
he's not terrible.
I don't know. I mean, can a year from now is this boxing bare knuckle boxing going to be around? I don't think so.
Doubtful.
Doubtful. I mean, unless it's able to. put on. I mean, I just don't see how something like that makes it. I mean, I just don't see it.
Man, freaking Jason Knight was 20-2 in 2017, and then he lost 4 straight.
Ooh, that's rough.
He
That's
was
rough.
doing he lost the Ultimate Fighter in the Ultimate Fighter because he was on, I guess it was Team McGregor and Team Faber. He fought
Oh
on that
yeah, yeah.
card and he lost that. Then he went on to win his next 4 UFC appearances. Then they put him okay, so he fights Chaz Skelly. First of all, he beat Dan Hooker. What?
Whoa, did he really?
I mean, this was when Dan Hooker was fighting at 145.
Oh,
But
okay,
he
okay.
beat Dan Hooker. What? When was this fight?
What and what and what and what
Dan
and why?
Dan Hooker is 17-8.
Interesting facts. Fact bombs getting thrown at us here. Fact bombs.
You know what? At one point early in his career, Dan Hooker was 3-3. Good on him for sticking with it.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah, good for him.
That's
I was
impressive.
0-10 and I gave up. And now that I look back, I could have turned that around
Could've turned around.
easily.
But yeah, they gave him Chaz Skelly, right? And then they gave him Ricardo Lamas. Like, who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah, that's a. Every time I see Ricardo Lamas, man, I just think of this friend I had in elementary, and he literally looks just like him, and it makes me miss him. And I don't know what happened to him
You're telling me
because like
you had a friend in elementary school that looked like Ricardo Lamas?
face wise,
What type of how early did he go through puberty to look like Ricardo
I'm
Lamas?
talking about like face. I'm just talking. No, elementary and middle. I lost touch in like high school because he went to like a Catholic school, but he looks like that in the face. It makes me miss him every time. I'm like, what happened to this guy?
Hey, speaking of Lamas, he's gonna be fighting Calvin Qatar, UFC
Interesting.
238. Is it Qatar or Cater? I can't. Maybe it's Cater. I don't remember, but he's no joke. He's really good.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you have scale of 1 to 10? Let's just say that I don't even. Okay, do we even know where the bare knuckle boxing federation is shown legally?
No idea, but I want to watch it.
You do?
I okay.
Are you gonna legally?
I
Legally?
I would never watch something illegally. If it costs money to watch, I will view the highlights.
Yeah, I haven't. I
After.
haven't, Biggs. You're correct. I haven't. Ever since I deleted my Facebook, I've lost touch with everybody, man. What the
Probably
fook?
the same people.
Probably
Ricardo
the
Lamas
same
and your friend. I mean,
peoples.
how old is Ricardo Lamas? He's probably your age.
Yeah,
Let's
I don't know.
find out.
Look it up. You
Let's
got
find
that computer right there. Look it
I
up.
am. I
Can
am.
we give a shout out to Lags real quick for making his bed? Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank
Making
you.
his bed tonight. Good job,
Thank you.
Lags. Good
You know,
job.
I didn't just make it before the stream.
Yeah, no, he didn't do it just seconds before the stream.
It was
Just seconds.
Definitely made way.
Yeah, when you got up, right? Because when you wake up, you make your bed, right? Okay.
Every morning when I wake up, I take my vitamins.
Say your prayers.
My prayers, and I make my bed, and I wash my face.
Yeah, you wash your face, brush your teeth.
Yep.
You also recite the hymns of something. I don't know.
I
right?
don't do that.
Okay. Well, that's why you ain't living right, Lags.
That's
okay.
the
So
problem.
what I was gonna say is money's not an issue, and I'm saying legally only. There's no way you can find it on the internet. You have to pay for it. Scale of 1 to 10, how interested would you be in buying this? There's a bare knuckle boxing event.
The Jason Knight or Malinaji?
Any of them.
Jason Knight one, probably not. Malinaji, I couldn't put a number on it. I think that'd be entertaining as hell. All the best. I'm waiting for Conor McGregor to show up and throw a dolly at him.
Oh.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for because you know Conor's gonna be there. You know Conor's gonna be at the event, and if and when, because Malinaji, he's no he comes off as a little wiener, but he's no joke. Yeah. He's a monster.
Yeah.
He was a freaking world champion boxer.
So you're telling me you would spend cash money on this? Cash money?
If we had a group of people who would watch it together and we could each put in $5, I'd do it.
Well, I can tell you right now, confirmed, there will never be a Redbeard in the Greek companion bare knuckle boxing, unless
You wouldn't watch Paulie against Lobov?
no.
Yeah.
If I had to pay for it, no.
Just the spectacle of it.
If I had to pay for it, no.
Did you
And I
pay
don't.
for McGregor Mayweather?
No, I worked in the bars and we were showing it, so I watched it for free. Well, I had to work, but yeah, I watched it for free at work.
And they took a fresh hundo out of my pocket for that.
Did they really? You got that one?
Fresh hundo out of my pocket for that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I expected. And I even watched the other fights.
Oh, yeah, see.
I spent $100 on it. I might as well watch the rest of the stuff.
It was an absolute madhouse. Like, I worked day shift, and our owner knew it was going to be an absolute madhouse. So he made me and another guy who had opened the bar at 11 o'clock, or actually 10:30, work all the way up in a double.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were salaried employees, so we could do anything he wanted to us. I'm out there with Biggs, though. I'm -10 on that. I ain't spending any money on that. I wouldn't have if I wouldn't
You're
have
not
spent.
gonna watch Paulie and Lobo.
If I have to spend
I need some
money,
help out here.
If I have to spend money, no.
You want to put $5.
There we go. Not legally. No, not even $5. I wouldn't spend 99 cents to watch it.
You want to spend? You're telling me you want to find $1 on the ground and be like, okay, I'll put this down. I'll put this down to watch Artem Lobov, the GOAT, lay his life on the line against a professional boxer, professional world champion boxer.
If I found $1 on the ground, I would much rather get an ice cream from the ice cream man, or go buy a pack of bubble gum than get that. I wouldn't. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Support your local fighters. Local Russian.
I would eat that dollar. I'd wipe my ass with that dollar.
What is this madness?
What is this madness? Me and Captain Biggs are on the same wavelength. You're getting gang banged right now.
Eat the dollar first.
You ain't got no one on your side.
I need some backup here. This doesn't bode well for the debate. Doesn't bode well for the debate at all.
Well, y'all missed that. I just spilled coffee all down my chest because the top wasn't on there correctly. Jesus Christ! Luckily, I'm thank God I drink cold coffee, or that would have been devastating. Real quick before we continue, I gotta ask this. How's Chell doing? She okay?
Yeah, she's doing better.
Okay.
She was bringing up a fight between our cats, and the cats. One of the cats wasn't. I guess he was already in like attack mode, and he bit her up and scratched her up pretty good. But yeah, she went to the doctors. They didn't have to stitch anything. They gave her some shots and some medicine and like a really hardcore antibiotic that she's on.
When are we gonna see a Chell stream again? That's what I've been wondering.
I don't know. I mean, she can't really do much right now because it's all on her arm and her hand too, so she can't really play.
Yeah.
But
okay. That
makes
sense.
Once she gets better, because she was excited to do something this week. But
look how cute I just looked sipping that from that. I'm a cute little boy sipping drinks from straws. A 31-year-old man sipping from a straw. Wow, I need to grow up.
One of those fun straws with the twirls,
little twirly and glitter all up in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think about UFC? Okay, we're talking about not having to spend much. I am digging the fact that ESPN Plus membership's only $5, right?
Yes, sir.
And we've gotten some pretty good cards off of it. That's a good $5 worth. Though this last one was pretty good.
That is true. They have done a good job of giving us, and they put a decent amount of them on regular ESPN too, which I like. And yeah, the fact that they're kind of, I don't want to say they're not loading the pay-per-views, but they're having some good fights on these cards is a good sign. But man, in 2 weeks, do I want to drop $60?
So is it confirmed that it's $60?
I'm pretty sure it's 60. I'm $59.99 actually.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I want to see those fights, but like if I'm paying $60 for a card, it's got to be top to bottom. And we'll not. I guess we're not going to go into it too much, but I mean, God, 60 on top of the $5 a month.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I used to buy. I'm not going to read that chat, FBI. I'm not reading that chat.
I would never do such a thing.
This is M Dub. I live in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm not reading that chat. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. I used to not really care about buying the pay-per-views. I'm like, man, I just love the UFC. I'm just gonna buy them. And my wife would get so mad when the bill came, and there's an extra $65 on the cable bill. But I've gotten to a point where I just really picky and choosy on them. With the app not being the greatest either, like we've talked about, it kind of has me even a little more. It has improved though, for me at least. There's a little
No,
less buffering. It has
they've
improved.
they've definitely done better. Oh my, the first one was trash, but they've done better. I almost feel bad about shitting on them on Twitter, but not too much because they kind of deserved it. It was
Yeah,
pretty
they
rough
did. Well, yeah,
before.
because the grand finale, the grand, opening basically, because I'm sure they had some subscribers on ESPN Plus, but UFC going to it probably brought a mass influx.
Yeah,
And your first show you put on, I mean, it was hard to watch. It was like watching. I think you're the one that said it was like watching in a stop motion fight at times. It was rough. It was rough to
yeah,
watch.
it was bad. But you're right. They have done a pretty good job. I'm excited to see where all that goes. It's really cool to see like just like fights that you would never see on the ticker of ESPN, and now they're
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
ticker. They're talking
Oh,
about
I'm
it.
loving
That's
it.
pretty cool.
I check, ESPN regularly throughout the day, just catching up, and I love seeing, if it's a big enough story, it makes it into their top news section. But if you just scroll down a little, all the UFC news you possibly needs right there. I
Yeah,
mean, there was a point in time, not even a few years ago, that ESPN almost acted like MMA didn't even exist. It was not even in the they didn't even speak on it. McGregor coming to the I would say even before McGregor, Rousey coming to the forefront helped that.
oh yeah,
But there was a point I mean, that ESPN literally, Fox Sports covered it, but that was really because they had the partnership with them. But ESPN, the biggest network out there in sports, really didn't even talk about it. And
I mean, up
I
until
always,
recently, when they had the pay per view pound for pound rankings, the
yeah,
picture of DC was literally definitely from pre USADA days because his traps looked like
yeah.
Brock Lesnar's, and then Max Holloway was like 12 in his picture.
Well, yeah, and they always had they've had that I can hear an echo of myself. This might be only when I talk loud, I don't know. But we what's his name, Brett? Um the writer, he's right up
Oh,
there. Aka something, you know what I'm talking about.
Akamoto, I
Yeah,
don't know.
they've always had him. They've actually had him for a while.
I was gonna say I've recognized him, but I guess he's their new Akamoto.
Yeah, he's been with ESPN for a bit. He's been with ESPN for a bit. I probably not even like a full-time employee. I think they probably had him like freelancing. But I remember, there were the times that they would put articles up on about UFC. It was written by like I'm not sure if you're familiar of like Dan Raphael. You ever heard of him?
Yeah,
He really is like a boxing guy. I mean, I think he has covered a little bit of MMA, but I'm like, this is the guy that they're having write the stories. This guy's a boxing guy. It was kind of
yeah.
hurt my heart a little bit, but good for them. Good for them. Good for them. On
Fun.
we can go to ESPN and get all of our sports news. But actually, where's the best place to get sports news?
I have to say it's right here at the
Right
Beard
here.
and the Greek.
Right here. I wish my teeth, my tooth like ding gleamed like when I smiled like
Oh, yeah.
that.
Smile. Fun fact
um,
also, when you search Brett Okamoto on Twitter, on Twitch, on Google, geez, I'm off the ball. So the
Flags confirmed drunk.
first three things that pop up: Brett Okamoto Twitter, Brett Okamoto Wiki, and Brett Okamoto wife.
Why? Ooh, hey.
Not gonna click that out of respect.
Dang it. Dang
Out
it.
of respect.
Dang it.
But I guess he has a very attractive wife.
All right. I just came up with something. The only way I would watch bare knuckle boxing, and I gotta say this quietly, is if Paige Van Zandt Paige
I
Van
already know where
Zandt,
this is going.
like versus I'll take Karate Hottie, Mommy did it. If they did it,
Karate Hot already kicked Pedro Andan's ass once.
yeah, that's true. I'd do it. And there's like Jello involved, and
I
you
hear
know,
your wife coughing.
yeah. I'd
Cut
pay
the
for that
feed.
one.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. We're talking about MMA. 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 We were joking. It was a joke. I'm in trouble.
All right.
No, you're an idiot. I'm just kidding.
Rip.
Yeah,
And
that's the other way I'd watch it. But yeah, moving on. Next
let's
subject.
quickly move on. I had some other comments, but I don't want to get into trouble. Right along. Another thing that happened this weekend was one. And speaking of your wife, here's my fiance coming in
Oh
hot.
crap! Here we go, boys. That guy that abused that chick is still trying to contact her and ask to get. Are you talking about the one that just fought Paige Van Zandt?
No,
I don't know her name.
she's talking about the documentary with the
Oh,
chopping off of the pee.
hey, Shell and Lags just watched the what the Raina Bobbitt documentary. Oh, lots of fun. I didn't know that.
That's
Nine outs,
crazy.
9 outs away from a perfect game in the show. It doesn't count if it's not on stream. You know that, Biggs. You know that.
That's true.
Yeah. Where were we? We totally got sidetracked there. Where were we?
I was gonna jump into ONE FC. The
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Demetrius Johnson, who is one of Chel's favorite fighters, and we got to meet him at TwitchCon last year.
Boo. No, I'm just kidding.
And so he had his
Boring.
ONE FC debut, and it wasn't his best outing, but he ended up winning via submission.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna be. I've kind of followed it a little bit. I honestly had no idea that event was happening that day. I don't know what
It
kind of promotion they were doing, like to remind people, but I definitely didn't see it.
it also happened as it was in Japan, so I think it happened
Yeah.
incredibly early in the morning, like 3 a.m. or something ridiculous like that. Like I didn't watch it. I was asleep because we were gonna be on our way back.
Yeah.
Back to College Station, but I saw the highlights, and Demetrius got banged up quite a bit, but he ended up winning. And just like Kenton Big said, R.I.P. Eddie. Did y'all see? Y'all have to
Yeah.
check out because people have been shitting on Eddie, which is ridiculous. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
Have you seen a picture of his eye?
Yeah, I saw that and I watched a little video. Apparently, like he was, did he just have to have, I think he just, I saw he just had to have a surgery for it. Like we went blind in it, I guess he said. And
He had to. His eyelid got cut in half.
ay, chihuahua. Okay, I didn't see that part. I'm
You
so
didn't.
glad I didn't
I mean,
because,
okay, the picture that he had, his eyelid was literally stitched through the middle.
okay, well, that makes sense because the story I clicked showed him, but it had like their little logo of the MMA website there, and maybe it was covering that. I'm so glad I didn't see that.
I'm
I'm
pulling it
so
up.
glad I
I'm
didn't.
pulling it up.
I'm so glad I did not see
I
that.
am pulling it up.
But yeah, I mean, he's that kind of fighter though, where yeah, he had his there and he did good and won the title and all that. But he's always been that fighter where you never know what's going to happen in his fights because he's just teetering on the point of getting knocked the fook out or knocking the fook out of someone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he said he was tentative during the fight, which he said he's been for his past couple of fights. And I mean, when you're fighting these guys in Japan, man, they're on that good steroids, man. Like that horse meat. Like you know the pictures of those cows where the cows are literally like a ton and they're all muscle. They probably inhale those. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you said there's no testing at all in one, right?
I don't think they can do whatever the hell they want, to my knowledge.
See why? Okay, so why would Demetrius? Because Demetrius Johnson always took a big. Well, obviously he didn't have he had a say in it. I'm pretty sure he couldn't. He could have said no. I'm not going to the one because he's always took a stance against the steroid users, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
believe
says
he
it
has.
says here that one championship will introduce WADA drug testing in 2019, but I don't remember
If they did it in time for these fights.
because everyone's just saying that all the dudes there on that good stuff, man, they're all juiced up, and you can even tell. Like you can look
Yeah,
at them and you can look at
yeah.
UFC fighters, and like there's not very many people in one other than Ben Askren who don't look like freaking Sage Northcutt
Yeah,
out there.
true.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he got that fat check, and I mean, he's able to, he can get bigger now too because he's fighting at 135, and that's another thing as well is that they both kind of looked undersized, which
Yeah.
Mighty Mouse is almost always looks undersized, but the fact that he was fighting someone at 135, Conor McGregor
Uh-oh.
tweeted something.
Oh my God, breaking news. Woo, 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 woo.
Alert!
Conor McGregor
Conor
alert.
McGregor
Conor
breathe.
McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Anything that happens with Conor McGregor, we go ham here on Red Beard in the Greek. We just lose it. We absolutely lose it.
Oh,
What happened? Oh crap.
oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
That's not good for him. Okay,
Oh,
that's
that's
not
not a
good at
good
all.
look. What
All
happened?
right.
Fill
So
me in.
first of all, the funny stuff, right, is Connor posted like 20 different pictures of him fighting Paulie and Paulie getting hit and beat up and all this. And the part that's not good is he posted a picture of Khabib and his wife is wearing a traditional like headdress over her head, and he put your wife as a towel.
Oh my
So
lord. Uh-oh.
that's not good.
How long ago was that tweeted? Because is he?
Five
I
minute,
mean,
5 minutes ago.
yeah. I give it 5 more minutes and it's deleted.
Yeah, that.
His someone in his camp is gonna have to say, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. Especially the people that are helping him run proper 12 and all that. You can't be doing all that.
Yeah, that ain't. That
I
ain't
mean,
it,
did
Chief.
I not say this a couple days ago? I mean, a couple
Really,
episodes ago
Jimmy.
about some of the things he says is really borderline, and he's pushing the issue. I said it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he is. He is pushing. He is pushing the. That can be. I think that's poor form.
Well, okay, so if you're retiring from MMA to be a businessman, you can't do that stuff, right? I mean, you're trying to get your products put into bars and companies and stuff like that. Companies might not want to have something to do with you if you have, stuff like that out there, right?
That's
I
true.
mean, businessman to MMA, big difference. You know, that's kind of dumb on him.
I'm
In my,
curious where.
I'm almost willing to guarantee that gets deleted within. Within 30 minutes. I think that's gone. I think that's gone. They made it to Chili's. I mean, Chili's. Everybody jokes about Chili's and all that, but that's a big. That's a
That's a big
big
deal.
chain. That's a family-friendly chain. They see something like that, they might say, "Whoa, hold on, no, no, no." You know what I'm saying? They got to think about all the different kinds of races and religions that might come into their establishment. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
the funny part is they had a lot of pictures of Malinaji getting his ass beat in the sparring, which I thought that's
yeah,
funny, but
yeah. You don't
probably
just you could leave that last part out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
probably that last one
yeah,
wasn't the best move.
that's what we should do. We should just in the bottom right corner. We should have a live McGregor tweet feed. That's what we should have.
We should. I don't know if we want that.
Wee
That could be
wee wee
dangerous.
wee. Oh, the true. Yeah, we might not want what he just did right now. That's not good. That's not a good look, Conor McGregor.
Good.
Shame on you.
Just like that.
Proper 12 is done. I got to change my number now on Road to the Show. I can't have Chubby Stubby affiliated with Proper 12 now. I'm trying to get to the major leagues, man. Trying to get to the major leagues.
Just come back and
Well,
fight if you want to.
well, hold on. We
nice.
need an update real quick. Can we get an update real quick, Lex?
What happened?
What's happening?
Oh boy.
What's happening with your AAA team on Road to the Show?
No comment.
Okay. Your agent saying anything about MLB? Okay. 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 Just wanted to get an update.
I did ask if I could get traded at some point, and he said you haven't done enough to be able to ask for that request. I was like, well, you're not
Wow.
wrong. You're not
You
wrong.
ain't wrong, Jack. You ain't wrong.
You're not wrong.
Why don't I have an agent? Again, I'm going to complain about this until I get an agent. So,
Someone sign this
boo.
man. Someone sign this man.
Well, all right, so we kind of got off track there. All right, so what did you think about
What are you doing, buddy?
the ESPN fights? What the two
Two
massive
knockouts,
knockouts?
dude.
Gaethje.
I'm really glad that that Emmett was able to.
Yeah, yeah. I've been a fan of him. Obviously he's taken some beatings, but I've always been a big fan of him. That was a big one. I was happy to see that one.
Especially since that when he like just his face got completely broke. By
Yeah, I know.
Stevens.
Like it was
That was
broke,
nice.
and yeah, that was So that was cool. That was really cool to see. And it's really cool to see a highlight reel, knock finishes and stuff that helps generate buzz and stuff. So,
But
um,
again, it was one of those where his head bounced. Michael Johnson's head bounced
yeah,
off the
those are
canvas.
rough, man. That's where, I think we had this conversation in one of our streams a few days ago. I can't remember, but boxing and MMA, how dangerous they are. But that's where both of them. That's where you see catastrophic things happen. Is not from the knockouts; it's from their head hitting the canvas, and how hard does it hit? I mean,
Mhm.
it always scares me. It always really does. It's tough to see. Um, but again, I think everybody was okay. So, but that's just one of those things that just makes you like, oh crap, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tough to see, worries you a little bit. But did you expect the Gaethje to pretty much dominate? Well, I wouldn't say. I mean, no, I would say domination. Obviously, um, knockout was. I mean, I would say he pretty much dominated that fight. It was a short one, but I'd say pretty much domination. But did you expect that at all?
I will say that one thing that came out today was there was a nasty eye poke by Gaethje, and you can see
Really?
Barboza's eye. A couple days later, it's literally completely red, like completely red.
Okay. Well,
Those have a huge effect on the fight. Not
yeah,
saying
because
that
your vision.
and I don't think it was like he Gaethje meant to do it or anything. But I mean, they're both beasts. I didn't expect Gaethje to one hit him.
That.
I
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
think that.
expect that.
I didn't
And
think
it was
that.
kind of no. I mean, I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but it was kind of out of nowhere. The angle that he hit it. I mean, I I was like, wow, whoa, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? And it was a no doubter. He was definitely out. So,
Gaethje versus Connor. Who wins that fight?
whew, I would say okay. Let's just say that okay, is that Conor McGregor's first fight back?
Yes.
Gaethje. I think
I
Conor.
I'm
I
kind
think
of
Conor.
leaning that way too.
I think Connor's got to come back. I think I think I've told you this many times. I think Connor needs to come back and he needs to get. They need to throw him a bone before that I just the longer he's away and the longer he's partying and the longer he's drinking proper 12 and hanging out in Miami and all this. I don't think he's like a John Jones type that can have a year layoff and come back and just dominate. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Throw him a 155 Diaz.
There you go. I don't think you have him. Diaz coming off a long layoff, so that would be a good one. I just don't think he comes in and fights someone that's been on their game lately and beats him. A high level guy, obviously,
That
and
should
I
be
consider.
like the last fight that he would want almost, because a guy like Gaethje who can take he can take a lot of punishment,
Yeah,
and he's still gonna be like you. I could see Connor doing what he did to Eddie,
yeah.
but I could also see Gaethje just being like just walking him down and
Yeah.
if he hits Connor enough, and I am a huge Connor fan,
Oh, me too. Me
but
too.
if
Yeah.
he hits
So
Connor enough, Connor is going to quit. It happens every single time.
true. You're true. I
Like
just think Conor McGregor can't. He's gonna have to have at least one fight in him before he takes on any of the super high levels, unless he takes on like a Diaz that is off a long layoff too. So I don't know, man. I obviously we've had this conversation 1,000 times. I want McGregor to be fighting in the UFC, but I don't want him to get thrown into some fight where he's probably gonna lose, man.
Like
I don't want to
that
see
being
that.
said, if they put Connor and Khabib for July,
Oh man, that's
I would
Conor
have
McGregor.
I wouldn't be surprised if Connor won.
No, I don't. No, I don't see that. I think Conor McGregor has to. Um, I don't. I just don't. I honestly, and me, I'm a big McGregor. I can't envision. I can't envision a scenario where Conor beats Khabib. I just can't. If he didn't beat him in this last fight, he with all the trash talk and didn't get into his head, obviously got into his head, but after the fight, Khabib was totally composed during the fight.
But
But
Connor looked. This is what I could see. All right, Connor keeps making these very tiptoeing the line comments.
hmm
If he actually focuses on training and comes out like he did against Alvarez, and Khabib shows him zero respect, which Khabib has done to almost every single person he's fought recently. He's like, I'll
yeah,
stand up with you because I'm that much better. I think Connor could TKO him. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
yeah, but I just don't see. I think Khabib won't be like that against McGregor. I think
He was
he's
like that in the last fight. McGregor took a round from him because Khabib was like, I'm just gonna stand.
yeah, but then well, honestly, I do know what you're saying and all that, but I just never felt like Khabib was even in remote danger of losing that fight. Anyway, I felt like he could have ended it at any time when he chose to. I don't know, man.
All it takes is one
I know, I
well
know, I
timed
know.
left or right or whatever the
I,
effing
d-
says.
I want to see McGregor come back and get a fight or two in him, and then maybe go up against Khabib again. But like I said, I just can't envision a scenario where he beats Khabib. I just can't. I just
I
can't.
I want to see Khabib Tony. I really want to see that.
Yeah,
I think Tony has. If anyone can beat Khabib, if I had to give a percentage chance out of anyone to beat him, Tony would have the highest percent chance because Tony can actually defend himself well from the ground.
yeah, true. I would love to see that fight. Um, I'm right there with you, Captain Biggs. I think this retirement is solely a play with to get what he wants from the UFC.
Oh yeah.
It's I think he did feel disrespected about the co-main event slot, and maybe the money wasn't right or whatever. And I think this is a ploy. Um, but the UFC's in a good spot right now. Like we mentioned earlier, the last couple cards have been exciting. Um, whoever DC fights next, that's gonna sell. John Jones is back for now. Um,
No, no, yeah, let's watch John Jones beat another shitty
I
light
well,
heavyweight
we
who's
agree with
actually
that.
not even a light heavyweight.
We agree that kind of like who cares, but
At
people
least
are
he's
gonna
there.
tune into that,
That's true. I'm shoot.
and
I'll
so
probably tune into it.
yeah, the UFC is kind of for once has a little bit of leverage against McGregor because he's pretty much owned the leverage against him. They have they got some decent things in the future where they're not like, oh my god, we have to have a McGregor fight.
And that ESPN deal
Um,
probably helped a lot too, since there's so many more eyes on it. They feel like, hey, we have so many eyes on us now. We don't need
yeah,
McGregor
yeah,
to take us
yeah,
from Fox
exactly.
to the main stage. We're already at the
Yeah,
highest
true,
like the pinnacle
true.
of sports.
And it'll be interesting. I mean, again, at the end of the day, regardless of ESPN money, it's a lot of money. But for UFC to be at the pinnacle where they've been and stay there, it's because of pay-per-views. So if these next upcoming pay-per-views don't sell, then maybe McGregor will be back into it. So, what's up, Godly? How you
Going
doing,
on.
buddy? You want John Jones versus Brock Lesnar? I would not mind seeing that at all.
I'd be down for sure.
I'd be definitely down to see that. I'm down to see Brock Lesnar versus DC. Personally, I think Miocic deserves a title shot, but um, I'm down to see those. Honestly, you want a crackhead versus a crackhead? Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh
Dude,
oh.
I'm just saying this. I think that both DC and John would manhandle Brock Lesnar, but let's not forget Brock Lesnar was the heavyweight champion of the world at one point, and he's so much bigger than both of them. And
Yeah. Well,
it's fighting, and anything can happen. If you're a heavyweight and you connect with one punch, you can knock anyone out. Let's. It's not out of the realm of possibility that by some stretch of the imagination, Lesnar could try to tackle him and wrestle him, and he could land on his head and TKO one of the guys. It's possible.
it's possible, but
That's
and
the beauty. That's the beauty of mixed martial arts.
I've
Anything
said
can
it.
happen.
Anything can happen. But I think for that chance of anything to happen, especially against a John Jones type, your stand up and your striking has to be good. And Brock Lesnar's has never been good, so I don't think that happens. Um, I agree with Biggs. I think if it's Lesnar versus Jones, Jones just wipes the floor with him.
Depends on how many picograms Jones is allowed to have before the fight.
Well, the same with Lesnar too. I mean, he's been,
You know how much? I'm curious. I'm curious how strong Brock Lesnar is compared to DC. Because look wise, Brock looks a lot stronger, but DC and John,
Yeah,
they're
no,
both really strong.
yeah. I don't know. And then well, also Joe, how old is Lesnar? He's got to be pushing 40, right?
Oh,
Too. I mean,
for sure.
so and he doesn't fight. He hadn't fought in a long time. So you know,
He's Brock Lesnar's 41.
41.
I take that back. I disregard all the information I said before. There is a 0% chance.
Yeah, the 0% chance. The only reason I say John is because DC is so against giving Brock a chance to fight him, and I know John Jones would do it. Actually, I think DC's open to it. He even making these comments, jokes on interviews that he's gonna invade WrestleMania and challenge Brock. So I think he's open to it. Only because the money. I think if this is John Jones 4 years ago, and he's not at the tail end of his career, he's not even going to entertain it. But he sees that as I got one, maybe two more fights in me. That's going to be a big payday, is what I think. So, what's up, Tex? How you doing tonight, Tex?
Yeah, if you want a steroid user versus a steroid user,
there you go.
Lesnar
versus
and John
Brock
Jones is a delightful matchup.
Yeah, it's I'd watch that. I'd definitely watch that. I'll watch Lesnar versus DC. Either way, I watch it.
But yes, give Stipe a fight too.
Stipe deserves. Stipe.
Well, the problem is Stipe isn't. I feel like he's not. I mean, I don't know, but it sounds like he's not taking anything other than DC. Just take a fight. You win one fight, you're fighting.
I don't know if I think he's too in the. He knows he's at the end. He's at the end too. He is.
Yeah.
I think he's thinking. I know. First of all, he does deserve the shot. He owns the record for most title defenses at heavyweight division, right? Okay.
Potentially best heavyweight of all time.
Potentially. He deserves the fucking rematch. So I don't blame him for sticking to his guns on that. Now he might not. He might be forced into something else, but I think until UFC announces that DC's fighting somebody else, if it's Brock or, I mean, the only other option is Brock, right? It ain't gonna be somebody else. So then I think he changes his mind a little bit. So Jones versus Lesnar and allow them to juice. Yeah, it would be fun. I mean,
send them over to one, man. One FC.
That's a debate that we've thought about having here, and I think we'll eventually bring it. Is should steroids be legal in sports? That's a debate that we've thought about having here a few times. But
only in certain situations.
Only in certain situations you say that, but there's no. How would you not?
Hey, find out when we debate. It's gonna be a good one. That debate might literally last the whole entire
Yeah.
We might just are if you guys see today's topics and it just says debate, or there's just like a syringe up there, or there's a picture of John Jones, then you guys know we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking
Yeah, it's
steroids.
absolutely dangerous to your health. I mean, look at all the wrestlers from, the 80s and 90s that are dying because they've taken
Not
steroids.
if you use it properly under doctor supervision.
I mean, steroids by doctor supervision is only to have what your testosterone levels at a normal level, and stuff like that. That's not why they're taking them.
Well, you could also
So
use them for recovery. I think that would be the main. That would be. I would say have them legal for recovery, and if someone's taking them, they have to be incredibly closely monitored throughout the time they're taking them, and there has to be a reason for taking it too. Like, I mean, we could even talk about if some people say it's unfair. Well, some people just naturally have a higher testosterone level than others. Is that unfair? Should we make everyone have the exact same testosterone level? Like,
yes,
it's a
exactly. Yeah.
great debate. It's an
It's a
excellent
great it's
topic.
a great debate. I mean, because it touches on all sports. There's been steroids is prevalent in every sport, so maybe except soccer. I don't ever really hear of steroids issues in soccer, but
Well, we could go
uh,
performance enhancers on that route, like blood doping, stuff like that.
no hitter in the show, no big deal. Yeah, it's no big deal when
I don't
it's
believe you.
on rookie. When it's on rookie, yeah, uh huh.
Easy mode, one button mode.
In that case of that kind of fight with both parties agreeing, it would be acceptable but should not be allowed overall. Okay,
See,
okay. Well, we're gonna save that. We're
I
gonna
have,
save it.
I have so many,
Yeah,
things. We got it. We
we're
gotta
gonna
do this
save it.
soon, man. We gotta do it soon. I'm
Yeah, that's a
anxious.
that's a good one. Also, too, another one too. See if y'all would be interested in this future debate. The most unbreakable record in sports. That's a good one.
Yep.
We've come up with a few ideas. So. Um, MMA, man, MMA. We've talked about it for an hour. That's what we do here, boys.
That's literally okay. They're like, even if
Yeah,
there's nothing going on, we'll spend a decent chunk of time talking about MMA.
because we get so it gives us the most. We get interested the most in it, and Tex is probably already falling asleep. Oh, MMA talk. But next week we'll be previewing the upcoming pay-per-view with Holloway, and then what we got Styles Bender as well.
Dude,
Um,
those see, I got it. I gotta get it, man.
that I
That's a,
might end up getting that one because
Let me
I
look
feel
at the rest of the card real quick. It's
they
236, right?
I kind of have what is that, the fear of missing out. That's what I have on
FOMO.
that one. Is yeah, FOMO on that. Like part of me is like, no, no, I can just read about it. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna miss something really good.
Uh,
Um,
let me give you the rest of this card real quick. We'll just go through this card.
yeah, the rest of the card, I
It's
looked it up.
not.
Right,
It's the
it's not.
third. The third fight is Eric Anders and
Yeah,
Khalil
I know.
Roundtree Jr.
I know it's not. I looked at it earlier, but I just feel like the two title fights. I feel like we're gonna miss something big. And then so I don't know. I gotta ask Mrs. Dubs. Watch party at M Dubs. Everybody, come on. Let's
Do it.
bring it. Let's do a potluck.
It's
Let's do
only
a
like a
potluck.
4-hour drive.
Oh, that ain't nothing. That ain't
From
nothing. Secret and lag stream tonight. Secrets and lag stream tonight.
You're gonna have to
Stolen
tune in
bases.
and find out.
Tune in, find out live on Twitch. Yeah, so next week we'll be going in depth on the that pay-per-view. Maybe we'll announce maybe a companion stream, maybe. I don't know, who knows.
That'd be
But
fun.
that'd be fun. But we'll be touching on that next week. A lot more to talk about. I'm sure Conor McGregor from now until then will tweet some more things that we'll have to talk about. But
He tweeted a picture of one of Khabib's. You know the guy who he punched that attacked him in the
yeah,
ring.
yeah.
There's a picture of him with that big welt under his eye, and he said,
Mhm.
"I smacked your brother around and took a shit in his hat." Which again,
So if you're retired, if you're legitly retired, right? Why are you tweeting these things?
oh he's coming.
So yeah, exactly.
He's gunning for that Khabib fight so bad, but
Yeah.
he did.
NFL,
Yeah,
NFL games started in a row is
who has
unbreakable
that?
in my. Oh, that's Brett Favre, I believe. Right? right? Wouldn't that be Favre's? That's Brett Favre's, I believe. Kickers, I think there's kickers that made it, but they don't count. They're kickers. But I think it's Brett Favre, I believe. They,
Yep.
I have many. I can name a few that I think beat that. That's a really big one. That's a really big one. Godly. Um, but I have some I think that beat that. So I think we'll save that. I think that should be good for next week. Or well, actually, the steroid. What do we? Maybe we'll just do debate streams every
We
night.
have so many good debate.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Favre
There.
had 297, I believe it was.
I don't know if that's necessarily unbreakable because Eli was getting close to it. Eli was getting close, and he ended up missing a game. I don't think that one's. There's some other ones out there that I personally agree that I think that
Oh, 321.
are unbeatable. So um, tune in upcoming weeks. That debate will be coming in hot. Coming in hot.
Brett Favre has 321 consecutive starts, according to
Mm.
Wikipedia. Eli Manning was 199 away. No,
What?
99
No,
away.
that I was about to say that's not. So he's 99 away,
Yeah.
which is not that. Well, that is a lot off.
99
17
starts
game
in
season.
16 games, 17 games if you make the playoffs and go far in there. How the hell did Brett Favre start? He didn't even start when he get drafted by the Falcons. He didn't start as soon as he got drafted, did he?
Okay, so he got drafted rookie year with the Falcons, drafted, traded to the Packers the next year. I thought he started right away. I thought.
There's only one way to figure this out. I misspelled Favre, but that's okay. Everyone misspells Favre.
If anyone watches those great, in my opinion, the only good thing that NFL Network really does is those in it. What is it? A Football Life. The Brett Favre one was really good. I think I cried a few times. I love Brett Favre, but definitely watch that one.
So
So
he in 1992 he played 15 games and started 13. So I guess that's when the streak started.
yeah,
And he literally from 92, I guess partway through the 92 season to 2010 started every single game.
wowzers. And then the kind of the climate we're in now with resting players, and in the NFL, if you've wrapped up your playoff seed resting players, there's a good chance it's unbreakable. Godly.
Godly, I'm taking that one to use in the debate.
Well, Google. I'm not gonna just Google MLB Iron Man, and you tell me which one. And that'll okay. You just look up that one. So debates
There's a
coming in
lot of
hot.
good ones.
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
a
lot of
lot.
good
There's a
ones.
lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's so many. Um, yeah, Steele's record exactly. There's so many. It's going to be fun to debate it. For each one of us to pick which one we say, and then there's just so many. So that'll be a fun debate upcoming.
Yeah,
Talk about football a little bit. What about that AAF, man? What about that?
that's
Folding. Didn't even make it through the whole season.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but I can't.
Well,
Who's running this thing to not even have enough? You would think if you're going to run an organization, you should at least have backup funds to get through 1 year.
Well, I'm reading into it a little bit. Is that the other Bill Polian, which is a longtime NFL guy? He I think he's like the vice president of it, and a couple other people. They were saying the league where it stands right now can make it to the end. It can. Um, it's that that whatever his name is, that NHL owner that came over and gave him 250 million to make it through this. They said the money was there to make it. It was his decision alone to pull the plug, and I'm sure there's gonna be more that comes out in the next week or two with the story of maybe why exactly. But a lot of people are pretty upset about. It kind of threw them off. People that were involved in high levels of it. So it's really interesting. Like you mentioned earlier, coincident or not, that Johnny Manziel joins the AAF, and what, a week or two later, Dunzos. So um, yeah, they're using the word suspended, but everything I'm reading is it's done. It's done. There's so many moving parts. If you suspend it, the venues that you're playing the games at, they might go ahead and have something else come in there. The TV rights, they're gonna go ahead and put something in that slot. So it's done. It's done. It's done. Now, is it gonna come back next season? Maybe, but it's definitely done this year. And then I don't see how you come back after that. So. Um, it's not a good look. I mean, from what I was reading, that the ratings and stuff actually weren't bad all season, and that CBS was about to give them the slot right before the Final Four. So,
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's a big deal.
exactly. So they were gonna lead it. Their game was gonna, lead into the Final Four. So it's very interesting. I mean, that guy mentioned a couple weeks ago that he didn't think it would make it because they don't have a partnership with the NFLPA. I think he wanted that. That's what he wanted, and it didn't happen, so he pulled the plug. That's my guess. How you doing, Bortzy?
Yeah, what's up, Bortu? Sorry, I was off screen a little bit because since Chell hurt her hand, I needed to tie her hair back, and I realized that
Oh,
I'm not prepared to have a daughter because I cannot tie hair back
oh,
at
I
all.
don't.
I was
I mean, H Dub
struggling.
turns 12 in a little couple weeks, and I still don't have that down 100%. So. How do you think the XFL will do next year since it folded before? That's interesting.
Better than the AFL or AF, whatever the F is called. I'd be willing to
It,
put big money on it lasting longer than that because at least they have some sort of like they've messed up once, so they have a
they,
little bit of
it
knowledge.
solely depends on TV. Who do they get a contract with? Where is this going to be shown? How is the majority of the U.S. going to watch this? If it ends up on some app, nope. If it ends up streaming on some website, nope. It's going to have to be on a network, and I think
Yeah,
that's the only chance of success.
it's Spike
Um,
TV.
yeah, it's like Paramount
Is that
TV or
still a
something.
thing?
Yeah, they've changed names a few times, but it's going to have to be on TV where people can actually see it. But with the AAF, not even making it, it doesn't bode well for the XFL. Um,
Doesn't.
I don't think, NFL has a lot of flack and had a lot of hate right now. A lot of people turned off by the NFL, but I think it's too big of a monster to be beat. I just don't think it can be beat. So, um, because even though it's off-season NFL, I mean, I feel like Kyler Murray's stories in where he's going to go in the draft and his pro day is cared about more than the AAF. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So even in the off-season NFL rules. So since it's Vince McMahon, I'd assume USA or something. Yeah, true. I mean, he already has those ties with the networks. It's going to have to be. They got to. I just don't see it working. It could probably make it a season. I just don't see it working. No, I just don't.
I'd say
Um,
it gets through. It gets through 1 year, and then after that, it's shaky, like you said.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be pretty happy if it made it. I mean, it would give you something else to watch and get into. But I just can't envision. I can't envision it making it though, especially if how badly the AAF crashed and burned. So.
Yeah, but I mean the XFL is also. I think it's part just quote unquote entertainment too.
Well,
Like
that's
if they can incorporate that into it, like if they can incorporate a little bit of that WrestleMania style off field entertainment, and I think especially in today's world with Twitter and all that, I think that would do them a world of good. Now I don't know if that's how they
well,
want to broadcast themselves this time around, but I think it would do
that's
them a
how they
world of
did
good.
it the first go around, and it was a little outlandish and stuff like that. I don't know if that was the exact reason why it failed, but I think people had a hard time taking it serious, and I think Vince McMahon announced that they were going to be taking this one a little more serious, and is going to be a little more legit football.
I think
Um,
that's the way to go.
yeah, I agree, but I just don't feel like the other way works. I just don't feel like anything works. I just don't think you're going to beat the NFL. I just don't think you
Oh,
can. I don't
but
think
I
it's
think
viable.
they could make a product that wouldn't. I mean, honestly, nothing's gonna make big money, but I think they can make a product that doesn't lose money while keeping it
And
like
keeping
if
it
they did
going.
a mix of what they're saying they want to do now and what they did before, where it's not super outlandish,
Yeah.
but they still have some crazy little things going on.
Yeah, and I think they talked about how they're going to do things to shorten the game. That's something now that really hurts all of the, except for basketball. Basketball's been able to kind of get past all this, but now people's attention spans, you have entertainment at the touch of your fingers constantly, so your attention spans aren't as long. So it really hurts baseball because baseball games can go 3+ hours, and then it's hurting NFL as well. Is these games? That's why there's always debates with replay. Well, we're adding replay; it's going to make the game longer. I think Vincent McMahon talked about he's gonna do things to where the games are a little quicker, a little bit easier to digest. It's not going to be some long drawn out thing. How he's going to do that, I don't know, but um,
He's a
it'll be interesting.
genius. He'll figure
I
it out.
We'll see. I mean, I'll be interested to see it. I'll definitely be more interested to see that than I was with the AAF, but it'll be interesting. So she done broke up a cat fight. Who won that fight?
The cat.
The, Jeez, that was rough. Again, that picture was rough. So it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, it's kind of slow time for the NFL. That the top story really in football right now is the AAF folding. Um,
Yeah, there's not really.
not a lot going on.
There's a Texans player who retired today. A Hall, I believe.
Yeah, I
Andre Hall
saw that.
retired.
Yeah, I
Which
saw that.
that's just what we need is another defensive player um, leaving. I mean, good for him. Good for him. I'm happy that he was able to retire with seemingly his health being okay too, because he said health wasn't the issue.
Yeah.
So good on him for retiring before it did become an issue. But man, my Texans defense.
Well, you could always restock if you go heavy defense. I think y'all's offense would be pretty set. I think maybe y'all's offensive line needs a little work, but you go heavy defense in the draft, you could be right there at it.
It's true.
Pitch clocks are my least favorite thing ever. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those pitch clocks in baseball. Um, I think baseball's trying to do a few things here and there. There's not. I think there's just really not pitch clocks. That's just, yeah, that ain't it. But I don't think there's much they can do to shorten their games. Because you add pitch clocks in, it just doesn't feel like baseball. It really
So
doesn't.
pitch clock to inform people such as myself who aren't like super into baseball. That means they just have a certain smaller
Yeah,
amount of time before the
yeah,
next pitch.
they have to throw. Yeah, but yeah, it's the same thing as a shot clock basically in basketball. Is you have to, and I don't even remember how long they were having it, testing it at or whatever, but it was basically cutting down the time between, because there's some pitchers that they take forever in between pitches and it really draws the game out. But I don't feel like that solves anything, and it changes the game a little too much to me. Um, Dude, there's other things I think they could do maybe to shorten it, but I don't think that's it. Um, so I think they already scrapped that idea, I believe. So people weren't a big fan of it. Russ just got a 2020 game. Damn, good for
The
him.
fact that Russell Westbrook, and I'll just say this really quick, that I keep saying I'll say it really quick and I'll talk about it for like. The fact that Russell Westbrook isn't in the MVP conversation is ridiculous. When we used to think that averaging a triple double would never happen, like Oscar Robinson does it, and this dude's just out here averaging triple doubles like it's nothing. And a 20-20-20 game is nuts. Yeah, he's a stat sheet stuffer, but what player that is up for an MVP award isn't? Like, that's a part of the MVP is putting up good stats, and Russ does that. Everyone complains about it. Oh, Russell Westbrook doesn't share the ball. He's not very effective. He averages 10 plus assists per game. That's the definition of sharing the ball. Steve Nash won the MVP with like 17 points per game and like 11
Yeah.
assists. And Russell Westbrook isn't even in the conversation. He's basically averaging a triple double.
Yeah. I think it's. I mean, who votes in? Who is it? Is it just the writers in the NBA, or do players and coaches have a vote on that MVP? Is it just writers?
I think I'm gonna be right back.
Because I think some of that is they they've seen it before, and you get again this generation, man. This generation of we've already seen him do that. Because what was it? A couple seasons ago, he averaged a triple double and he won the MVP, right? And they're saying they've seen it. Um, Maybe that's a little bit of it as well. But I mean, wow, he went 2020. But what are they going to do in the playoffs? And that's what I always give a hard time to Lags about the Rockets. Yeah, Harden's averaging 30 plus, but what are they going to do in the playoffs, man? You got to do it in the playoffs. It's going to be I don't see the Oklahoma City Thunder really, challenging the Western Conference. Houston Rockets, my bad, I just don't think anybody can beat the Warriors. So it's what you do in the playoffs. It's what you do in the playoffs. So what's up, Silent? How you doing? His team is 2-7 the last year. There you go. The Mavericks just beat them. But shame on the fucking Mavericks for doing that, man. And then going out and beating who was it? They just beat Tex by like 20 plus or whatever. They're gonna ruin their chance at keeping their draft pick. But it's that time of year though where these teams have kind of already supplanted where they're gonna be in the draft, or they're at where they want to be at. So they're not gonna play their hardest. But the Mavericks kind of messing up their draft stock chances of keeping their draft pick is what one kind of rolls into the debate we're going to have. Hopefully Lags makes his return soon so we can have that debate. Maybe he'll never come back. Who knows? Maybe I need to find a new co-host. So yeah, it's all about the playoffs, man. It's all about the playoffs. Another quick little NFL nugget I want to throw out there is apparently I was reading it and it kind of threw me off a little bit that Russell Wilson is demanding a contract extension from the Seahawks, and he's giving them the tweet was deleted, and did I not call it? I guarantee somebody from the proper 12 team or somebody like that has say, bro, you got to get rid of that. I called it.
I was literally about to say surprise, surprise, and he has a tweet from 13 minutes ago, and it's him saying surprise, surprise.
Oh
man.
I called it.
Yeah, he deleted that one, and he deleted the one about taking a dump in his hat, which was probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean, how drunk is he right now? I mean, Jesus Christ.
He's living the good life, man.
Yeah, I know, but you're a businessman now. You can't be doing that, I
mean, never mind. I'll just remind me to talk to you about this after.
All right. Well, real quick, what I was saying real quick is apparently Russell Wilson is demanding a contract extension from the Seahawks, and he's giving them an April 15th deadline.
Or what?
That he might potentially set out of some workouts and not show up to camp and mini camps and stuff. So
actually, he's on a team friendly deal right now, right? Am I off there?
I would maybe based off what some of these other quarterbacks have gotten recently, but he did get a pretty hefty chunk of money a few years back. But the rumors have been that he's going to New York. As you keep hearing those he's going to take over for Eli. So maybe maybe he really wants it, and this is his way.
Now that would be interesting. I hadn't, and I mean, okay, if the issue is here, and it's the owner's fault on this too. And good on the players. Anytime players can make more money, I'm
Yeah.
100% for it. But he signed a 4-year deal. In my mind, you play that deal out
Well, we
and then
just
you
dealt.
move on. But the thing is that since guys can play deals, and if 2 years through the deal they do better, the owners are willing to give them more
Yeah.
money. Then owners shouldn't be surprised, and no one should be surprised when a player asks for more money because, I mean,
True.
frankly, they deserve it for overperforming in their contracts.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the nature of the game. Good on him for trying to get more money. And
I don't think.
he's set to earn 17 million base.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he sets out or anything like that. But it'd be the rumors I keep hearing and stuff that keep linking him to New York. Maybe not so much now that Odell's not there. Bryce Harper just went second deck in Washington. Whoa, I need to see that highlight because he struck out his first at bat and they act like they just won the damn World Series. It was a big opening week in baseball. It's really fun to see baseball coming back, but really the opening few weeks in baseball are so meaningless because there's 162 games that you never a team could start off 10-0 and then end up losing 100 games. But we got to see some good stories in the first week or so. We're not even a weekend yet, but the first few days of baseball. Seeing Bryce Harper, that was cool. Seeing him make his debut in Philly. I hate Philly, but it was kind of cool to see the reception he got, and I think his second game in hit like a moonshot, and then the next game hit another one. And
Just like Chubby Stubby.
Chubby Stubby, baby.
Hitting these home runs.
Yeah. So there were some cool stories to see. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Christian Yelich, last year's NL MVP, has been off to a crazy start. He might go back-to-back MVPs. But nothing too crazy right off the bat. Rangers, baby, took 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies. They lost to the Astros last night. I don't know what the score is right now. Look it up, Plags. Let's go.
4-4, top of the 7th.
Let's go. But nothing too crazy. But it's good to see baseball back. We're going to definitely be covering baseball throughout the season.
Yep.
But nothing too crazy. At the beginning, Ichiro, we didn't really talk about that, but that was really cool to see. Seattle did the opening series this year was Seattle in Japan, and getting to see him finish his career in Japan was really cool. So he called it quits.
Is Ichiro a first ballot?
Oh God, yeah. He's guaranteed for first ballot. For him to come over and do what he did right off the bat, and his whole career was insane. If he would have played his whole career in baseball, in MLB, he's the hit right. He's the hit king. Pete Rose is not. He owns that record. Yeah, he's first ballot all the way. If he's not, that's a travesty. There's something FBI needs to look into voter fraud, because he definitely is, man. He was a transcendent player, man. He was there was nothing he couldn't do. He was so good. So
you could say he was a utility.
Yeah, you could say that, but he's a lot better than Fatty Shorty, though.
No comment. No comment.
So it was cool to see.
Just like Ichiro, Fatty Shorty is taking his time to get to the major leagues.
But Ichiro over in Japan was an absolute superstar. So it's not like he was struggling before he got here.
No comment.
Sir, no comment. So, but we'll definitely be touching on more baseball as it comes out. But it was cool to see. I love seeing it. The Rangers' final season at their ballpark. And yeah, it was a lot of good stories. I'm sure going to be coming up in the MLB season. Definitely going to be excited to talk to you about that throughout the year. March Madness, Final Four.
Bracket challenge. Let's take a look.
Bracket challenge. Pull it up quick. Pull it up quick.
Boom. It looks like we have, I believe that's Rex.
We think it's Rex. We're not sure.
Not sure. Sorry if we're revealing your identity, Rex. But ESPN fan 25156835050 is in first. Shell's in second. MDub is in third. Tex fourth. Silent fifth, Redbeard sixth, and I'm seventh. At least I'm not last.
Where were you at?
At least I'm not last, and the bracket challenge is
Who's
gone. Oh,
it's
it's
gone?
coming
It's
back.
gone, and now I'm
Now
back, and I'm trying to.
let's take a look at the actual bracket itself, which I'm not exactly because we don't want to get a copyright strike. God forbid we
Yeah,
have the letters
we gotta
ESPN
get
up
that
there.
off.
Ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, it's I mean, let's be honest here. Did anyone legitly think Duke was going to win the championship this year? I mean,
Some people did.
I think some people did because they took chalk. They took the chalk on that. But I, not being a college basketball connoisseur, I did not think there was any chance that they were going to win the title. Just didn't see it. Did we do fantasy? No, we don't. We totally forgot about that. We wanted to do. Is it too late to do that? Is it too late, Godly, to get into that? To sign up and get one going?
Fantasy baseball. That how does that
It's
even work with the points and all that?
it's a rotisserie style. Fantasy baseball is
rotisserie, like the chicken.
Yeah, it's called The good one is rotisserie. We have to do rotisserie style. But it's a fantasy baseball is it's the grandfather of that's where the fantasy sports came from was baseball. It's not easy. It's an everyday thing though, so you got to stay on top of it every single day because the baseball, never takes off. So
it's like basketball too. Fantasy basketball, you have to be really, really vigilant about.
I say we set that up tonight and get it going. Godly, are you down? I know Captain Biggs. I'm down. We can set that up tonight. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. But I can't believe we forgot about that. So we definitely need to do that. So what do we got? What's the matchups in the Final Four? We got to touch on that real quick.
All right,
and then
pulling that up real quick. We have Michigan State against Texas Tech on one side of the bracket, and then we have Virginia against Auburn on the other side of the bracket. So who do you have between Michigan State and Tech?
Smart brain side of the brain says Michigan State. They've been there, done that. Izzo. I would like to see Texas Tech pull that upset because it'd be really cool to see them there. I think this is their first ever appearance in the Final Four, I believe.
Yes, sir.
But I think I just don't see. I mean, they're hot. They're super hot right now. But I just think Michigan State. The other side, I want to see Auburn win that. I want to see Auburn. I just kind of like. I've always liked Bruce Pearl. And the story with that player that got hurt, it would be cool for them to win it for him. So I'm going to say Michigan State and Auburn in the finals, and Michigan State wins it.
Michigan State and Auburn, and honestly, with the teams there was really no team that was completely like blew everyone out of the water this year.
Yeah,
and these teams are also, I mean. Virginia, the type of basketball they play, that slow pace, which is it's funny because they put up 80 against Purdue, right? And I believe that game go to overtime. I can't remember. I was watching it. We were watching it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are other games, right? They played Gardner-Webb 71-56, Oklahoma 63-51. They beat Oregon and they only scored 53 points in that game. Auburn has a chance to beat them just because with the score so low, teams that aren't as good can hang. I'm thinking it's going to be Virginia, Michigan State.
Okay.
And just based on the fact that Virginia lost to to a 16 seed last year, excuse me, I hope Virginia wins.
Yeah, that'd be a good story. I could really care less, honestly, who wins. I mean, if I had to. Just who do I want to see win? Just because it'd be Texas Tech, Texas team, and no one probably had them winning this at all. Texas even Tech. Yeah, I'm not a Texas Tech fan, but it'd be cool. Be cool to see. So
remember Michael Crabtree catching that game winning touchdown
against UT? That's true.
That was beautiful.
Let's go Michigan State. Let's go Michigan State. Well, I picked them to win, so I didn't. So
that's true. I had Michigan State as well, winning in my one that I put in there.
Yeah.
At least I get maybe that would move me up from South.
Yeah, I got Michigan State going to the. I think I had Michigan State going against Carolina, and Carolina beat Michigan State. So if I can get Michigan State in the finals, then that'll help me out as well. So you're late, Blubber. What the fuck? Just kidding. You're never late. You're fashionably late. There's a difference. We're glad you're here though. How you doing today, Blubber?
All right, Jared Blubber's here. We now have 1 minute left, and we're gonna be
We are out. See you later, folks.
What's going on, Jared Blubber?
All right. So NCAA. The biggest story this year in NCAA was what?
One Zion Williamson,
Exactly. Zion.
aka Duke University.
Fucking work, man. Fook that work in the boots. Biggest story by far. Biggest story this year by far. Is it pretty much unanimous he goes number one overall? I would say
a 0% chance there's a 1% chance he doesn't. That 1% chance is if he suffers a freak accident or if something comes up in his medical history. Yeah, raises a red flag. Other than that, there's no way he's not number one.
So this is our debate for the night: is Duke Zion? Is he a superstar or not? And criteria for superstar, what would you say it is, Lags?
I'd say if you make 5 or more All-Star games, and you're a superstar.
No playoffs, no finals appearances, just
if you're making those All-Star games, there's a likelihood that you're making the playoffs. There are plenty of superstars that don't necessarily have 6. Like I would consider Tracy McGrady a superstar.
Oh yeah,
and he didn't. I don't think he ever made it to a finals. He might have been on the Spurs one year that they made it there but lost. But he never got a championship, and he never had a lot of success when he was a star player in the finals.
No, there was a thing with him where they couldn't even get out of the first round, right?
Yeah, he got out of the second round like one or two times, and I think it was literally like when he was hurt, and the Rockets managed to get into the second round.
Yeah. So, criteria in that five or more NBA All-Star teams. We'll just say that, okay? You want to go first? What stance are you taking on this?
My stance is Zion is absolutely going to be a superstar at the next level. Is he going to be the all-time best player and we're going to be covering him like LeBron James? No. But is he going to be a superstar talent? Is he going to be a multiple-time all-star? Is he going to be a solid piece on a team that gets them to potentially an NBA championship? I think so. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
I even pulled this stuff up. Let's take a look at Zion Williamson's strengths. His first strength is he's an elite athlete and just his frame in general, right? Just his frame. The dude's 6'7", like 250 something pounds. It doesn't even say it right here on the screen that I'm looking at. It says he's 6'6", 230. He's 6'7", like 258. The dude is built like a brick house.
Yeah, but what position does he play?
Power forward.
And, is that
perfect?
Keep going. I keep going.
Okay,
keep
know another power forward of that size. Let me double check to make sure that he is the same height. Okay, a couple inches taller. Undersized power forwards, right? A great example of another undersized power forward would be Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson had some success, but he wasn't nearly as athletic. Tristan Thompson's 6'9". He could pull down boards. He had barely any athleticism. And I think at the 285.
If your argument is that he compares to Tristan Thompson and he's going to be a superstar, I've already won this.
The fact that he compares to Tristan Thompson in size, and Tristan Thompson can grab so many rebounds, and there's his size in terms of his height is not going to be an issue.
But Tristan Thompson has a shot, though, a little bit of a shot.
That is one of Zion's weaknesses. But guess what? We're not talking about his weaknesses right now. We're talking about his strengths. And the other strength is his frame. 285 pounds, solid muscle, 2% body fat. Yes, you heard me. 2% body fat.
But doesn't everybody in the NBA probably have that?
But no one's 285. At his size, his ability, especially once he develops his under the basket game. He can get up there, right? Those shorter players will typically spend a lot of time in the league working on their under the basket post game, which I think is a very underrated ability in the NBA, and I think players should really focus on that a lot more. If he
Yeah.
gets paired up with the right coach and he's able to develop an under the basket game, it's going to do him wonders. In addition to that, his defensive ability, we've already seen it all over ESPN. If he blocks someone, it's immediately on ESPN.
Yeah, but
He's an incredible defender, and even just as
oh,
let me throw this name at you. Let me throw this name at you, and then you can have the complete floor because I have one that is game over. Are you ready?
oh,
Are you
okay.
ready?
Let's go.
Dennis Rodman.
Mm,
Come on, just get
what
you
was
got Dennis
what
Rodman was a superstar.
what was Dennis Rod? Look it up real quick. How tall was
How
Dennis
tall was Dennis
Rodman?
Rodman? Be prepared to blow your mind. Fun fact: Dennis Rodman actually worked at Dennis Rodman, 6'7", 220 pounds.
Ooh,
Power
okay,
forward.
okay, okay. Two different players though. They're not the same player though. They're not. I
Exactly.
don't.
Zion Williamson is a better version of Dennis Rodman.
But that was a different era of NBA though. That was where you could get away with that style of play. Dennis Rodman wouldn't make it in the NBA today.
Think about this. Think about this pairing. I was thinking about this on my way to get lunch today. Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker, Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton.
Aton. Mm.
Now that is a combination that could be nasty. Because Ayton, he has a decent shot too. He can actually play outside of the out of the box. He's good. I think that Zion, with all his natural gifts, combined with the fact that, from what it seems so far, barring a flameout, he seems like a hard worker. He hasn't had any issues at the collegiate level just yet.
In 1 year, yeah. And
Some guys, hey,
there's a big sample size.
some guys at the collegiate level, man,
I agree.
they
I
have a
agree.
couple, they have their sunlight, and then they're all over the place. His
Yeah.
only issues right now, in my mind, are his shooting, which he can anytime an NBA player can't shoot, it drives me crazy because there's
And he
no
can.
excuse.
He
There's no.
can.
He's not an NBA player yet though. If an NBA player
He's
by
going to
the
be an
fifth,
NBA player in a couple months,
yeah, but
though.
by their, he's like 18,
But so is every other person that comes into the league in the last few years. They're
but
only 18,
he
19.
has time to develop a shot. He has plenty of time to develop a shot.
Okay. Are you done? You done?
Zion Williamson, future
I can't hear.
superstar.
It,
Future
it,
superstar.
all right. So my I got so many red flags when it comes to him being a superstar and being a player that's going to be able to have a 10 career and play at a high level and be at the forefront of like he is right now. I just don't see it happening because what position does he play? Yes, he's a power forward right now. I don't think he lasts in the NBA more than 2 seasons if they throw him out there at power forward. I just don't see it. What position does he play? I almost feel like he's positionless when it comes to the NBA. He's an
Draymond Green,
undersized. Yeah, but Draymond
6'7".
Green is a different player. He's a different player. Different players. I get you're comparing size, but they're different players though. They're different players. Draymond Green has devoted his career and life to being what he is. And I totally disagree with the fact that Zion is good on defense. Yes, he does get this good highlight reel blocks. Maybe is that because he's letting his defender get by him? I was watching some tape today. I was watching some tape. He doesn't look like he's someone that's engaged. He's not what always set to make good defensive plays. Yes, he gets the highlight reel blocks and stuff, but I think that's because he's not playing as hard as on defensive end. So he's allowing those situations to happen. And his athleticism is what allows those highlight reel blocks. Jump to the NBA, his athleticism that is light years ahead of everybody in the college basketball ranks right now is not like that in the NBA. It's just not. Okay. I just don't. I feel like he's positionless to a degree. He's an undersized forward. He can't shoot. He cannot shoot. He can't shoot. And I feel what he's 6'7" or 6'8". What is it? 6'8", 6'7",
6'7".
6'7". There are shooting guards in the current NBA, shooting guards that are 6'7". I just don't see it with him. He's gonna come in hot. I truly believe he's gonna come in hot. I don't see it lasting more than 3 seasons with him. I think he gets exposed.
Ooh.
Let me take that back. I'm not meaning he's going to be out of the NBA. I'm meaning that aura around him, that he's just this next level talent. I think those thoughts are gone within 3 seasons. He needs work on the free throw line. Okay, so his whole game is athleticism, getting to the basket and all that. What do they do in the NBA? They foul you. They foul you. And if you can't shoot free throws, stats right here don't lie. He's a 64% free throw shooter in college this year.
You can work on that.
I get that, but is that gonna magically get better?
Yes.
I don't.
With work, anyone. There's again zero excuse in my mind. If you are a professional basketball player and you cannot at least shoot at a 70 to 80% clip from your free throws, you're not putting in the effort.
He's known probably since he was 10 years old that he is going to be in the NBA.
These high school kids don't work on free throws.
What? No, that's not true, because there's rookies that come in today that are lights out. So they obviously worked on it. I don't feel like that's something you're born with, is free throws. That's something you have to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's gonna professionals work on the free throws. He's been working on so many other things. The fact that he can devote 100% of his life to basketball, and the fact that they're literally going to be nitpicking him. There's gonna be so many people saying, "Work on your free throws."
You're telling me right now at Duke, his 100% of his life isn't devoted to basketball? Yes, it is.
By his fourth season, he's gonna be shooting at 80%.
Oh no, he ain't got it. Ben Simmons doesn't have a shot, and he was. But we're debating. Y'all are helping me win my argument here. Those are different players. Ben Simmons is not Zion. Ben Simmons came to the NBA with elite level passing skills, so he can. That's what gets him there. And obviously, he's got the athleticism for like Zion to a degree, but he had other. And Zion's not a passer. I just don't see Zion having a position in the NBA where, let's say they throw him out there at power forward. I feel like he gets manhandled by some of the bigs in the NBA.
What power forward is going to manhandle someone who's 285 pounds at this day and age?
I'm telling you, I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I get that he's 285 pounds. He's 6'7", though. That's the kicker. He's 6'7".
Guys who are shorter, guys like Draymond Green are able to. And Draymond Green, I will say, Draymond Green has a shot. He has a much better skill set.
Yeah.
Than Zion Williamson does. But I think that when you can get examples of players like that can open the door for a guy like Zion to play well. Now, does that mean Zion's actually going to be able to do that when he gets into the league? We don't really know. But I think that does leave the door open to say, although he is smaller, guys like Dennis Rodman, guys like Draymond Green, they flourished when they're in the right system. I think that Zion is that type of talent to where he can do that.
He's going to have to he's got to go into the right system. He's going to go to a garbage team most likely. I just don't see it. I think durability concerns with the way he plays too is going to be an issue. That going 100% athleticism, dunks, and all this at all time. I think there's going to be durability concerns eventually that come up.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about Sean Kemp syndrome.
I was about to say that. I equate
concern.
I equate him to a Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp was the man for a couple year window, and then he was gone. The many factors that went into it. I kind of equate him to like a obviously Blake Griffin, multiple-time All-Star. You can consider him a superstar, but he's done absolutely nothing in the playoffs or championship. I could equate him to that, and now, towards the tail end of Blake's career, he's now getting a jumper, but it's too little, too late. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I think what position does he play? The fact that he is going into the NBA with no shot and no Silent mentions it. He was a point guard in high school. But he doesn't have NBA level passing skills. He's going into the NBA as a one-trick pony, in my opinion, and that is beating you with his athleticism. And in the pros, there's many guys that are just at the same level as you, athleticism wise. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think he's got to land in the right system, the right team. And I just don't see him as a guy that can go to the Knicks and carry the Knicks to a playoff appearance. I just don't see it.
I can agree with you there. And have a good night, Tex. I will say though, you mentioned Sean Kemp. All-star appearances for Sean Kemp, 6. Meets our criteria of a superstar.
Well, that's why I wasn't 100%. I'm not in agreement with our consideration. That's why I think there should be playoff appearances and success involved in that, because the fans vote for that. Yao Ming was making was winning All-Star votes when he wasn't even playing. That's why I don't think it can solely be based off of All-Stars, because it's fan voting.
I don't think that Zion. I think All-Star appearances mattered more. Like you're saying, All-Star appearances mattered more in the past than they do now. Now it can become a popularity contest. I could actually, thinking of it, I could see Zion being a guy who they would just vote in, even if he was hurt, because he has a couple spectacular plays.
Yeah.
And Sports Center is like, oh my gosh, it's Zion Williamson. He's doing something cool. I'm sold on him. I think he's going to be great as long as he doesn't get hurt. Now, like you said, if he goes to the Knicks, I don't think he's going to carry a whole entire franchise to a championship by himself.
And I think to be a legit superstar, you have to do that. You have to.
A guy like that's where. Would you consider Russell Westbrook a superstar?
He carries his team to the playoffs,
but not to a champion. I think he could carry them to the playoffs. The Knicks.
I don't think so.
But also, Russell had help. Russell had Kevin Durant. Russell had Serge Ibaka. Russell has Paul George.
I feel you. I don't see it. I probably lost this debate because the way that's going, but I just don't. I think he's going to have to fall into the right system. I think one of the teams that is an outsider to get that first pick, if they get it, I think he's set up. If he goes to maybe the Suns as well. I think that you were really on point with that one. The Suns would be a good one for him. I just don't see it though. I'm telling you. I think position does he play in the NBA? The fact that he is going into the NBA with no shot. You have to have that. I feel like he's going to get exposed pretty quickly. I feel like he is, but he'll stay in the forefront for at least a year or two, because he will be able to put in some flashy dunks and that. But I just feel like he's going to be exposed, man, because he doesn't have a well-rounded game.
If he goes to the Mavs, do you think he is a game changer for them?
That's a perfect situation, though, because you have Doncic and Porzingis already. He's going to come in a perfect situation. Doncic can control the ball. Doncic is going to set up the offense. If he stepped onto the Mavs right now, he's the third option. That's perfect situation for him. He goes to the Knicks, he is the only option. And I just don't see it. Suns, maybe, like I said, with Booker and Ayton, but I just don't see it. I think he's going to be a popular player. I don't see him sustaining long success in the NBA. I just don't see it, man.
The beauty of this, folks.
Well, let's put that up for a vote. Let's put it up for vote.
We can tune back into this in We could tune back into this in 5 years.
Yeah, we can. We can. All
See
right.
where
So
he's at.
what you do there, guys? Godly, you click that link there and you vote on it. We'll leave it open for a couple minutes. Where it's already 10:20. We're pushing into lag stream time.
Set up.
We'll get like a minute or two to vote on that. I know I lost because reading the chat. Like I said, I don't see him having a legit position in the NBA right off the bat. Because he does, if he had a shot, I'm like, okay, well he could be a serviceable at the forward position, but he doesn't have it, and he's gonna like try and win with his athleticism. They're just going to foul you, and you're not even a 70% free throw shooter in college. It's gonna get worse in the NBA, I feel like. So
I honestly think these guys can develop a shot. That's what I'm going to be interested in, and is his development and how seriously he takes basketball. That's in my mind what it. Other than injuries, that's the other thing that's going to come down to, because a lot of these guys, like, of course they all take it seriously. They're all professional athletes, but there's a difference in mindset when it comes to like a Nick Young and a Kobe Bryant when it comes to preparation and performance. If
yeah,
Zion develops a mindset and he gets on a team with a good older player that can take him under his wing and have him really say, look, you can be one of the greats if you work on your game.
Yeah.
And just the same the other way, if he doesn't, or God forbid if he gets hurt and it's something like Greg Oden again, which was awful.
Well, Greg Oden, he had some injury concerns even coming into the NBA. I don't think Zion has at all, except for the broken shoe debacle.
Zion, they were saying he's going to be signing like a big major shoe deal.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
He could. I mean, he could play 3 years and he could be a complete bust, and he'll have money for the rest of his life.
That's kind of where I'm at right there. But that's why there's a big difference between a great. If we're having to debate the fact that he needs to go to the right team to be good in the NBA, he's not a superstar.
Yes. Oh, come on. Okay, and also if we're comparing him to Ben Simmons, we don't think that Ben Simmons is superstar material.
But I don't. Well, no, I wouldn't.
I
say
think Ben Simmons is definitely superstar material. He's not at that level now, but he's in his, I guess technically his third year, but really his second year.
I just that's my thing is I feel like to be. First of all, for him to live up to the hype that he has behind him right now, the fact that we're even saying, and you're saying it too, that he has to go to the right team to succeed, to be, I just don't feel like that's superstar criteria.
I don't think he has to, but I think it's I don't know. It's going to be a little bit, it's going to be interesting. There's no one that's really come out of the league who, no matter what team they've been on, other than the only people I can think of who come out of the league and you can say whatever team they're on, they are going to have success, are LeBron James, Kobe, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And then your transcendent big men like your Olajuwons, your Shaqs, which is a little further back. But I mean, recently, there's not really a player who, I mean, Paul George basically carried Indiana finals when he was the main guy there.
This is the awesome thing about this debate is, like you said, in a year or two, because we're still going to be doing this, is we can go back and retouch on this and see what happens. So that's the great thing about this debate. Let's go ahead and do the results. I'm sure I lost.
I don't know.
Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed.
I don't have
one. Oh, it's a tie.
A tie. Okay. Tie. All right. I'm okay with
I'll
this.
Take that. I'll take a tie.
I'm okay with this.
I'll take a tie. I'll take a tie.
You did, Super Monkey. You were just missed the UFC.
We spent about an hour on it, brother. Indiana is in the East. Did you just say? Yeah. Did you just say that? I guess I missed that. Did you say Indiana was in the West?
No, I said they made the conference. Maybe I said Western Conference Finals, but yes, I do know they're in the East.
Come on.
I do
that
know
alone right there. That alone right there breaks the tie.
They were playing the Heat. The Heat are in the East. I know where Indiana is.
Ardon, please back me up on this.
Look at this shirt. I know where Indiana is.
Ardon,
conference
back me up
wise.
on this, please. Back me up on this. The fact that he said that
breaks
the tie.
I'm looking
breaks
at the tape.
the tie. I win.
I'm looking at the tape. I know they're in the East. It's a slip
But
of the tongue.
no,
Give me a break.
no. If
I can't believe it.
if we confirm that he
Can't
said
believe it.
that, then
No,
I
no,
won the debate.
All right, are done. NLFC Super Monkey, Zion Williamson. Is he going to be a superstar?
Oh, you can't ask Super Monkey. You probably didn't even know who Zion Williamson
Is he
is.
going to be a superstar? Notice Super Monkey ended up with the slight disrespect to you for not knowing who Zion Williamson is. I think you know. I think you know. I think you know exactly who Zion
What the
is.
fuck?
I see.
What? Okay. Well, hold on. What sport does he play? What sports does he? And you need to answer it in like 10 seconds, not time to Google it. What sport does what sport does Zion play? Basketball. Oh God, he was probably lurking for a while and heard it. He lurking. He doesn't count though. He was too late. His vote doesn't count. He was too late. The poll had ended. It's a tie. It's a tie.
Oh man, I love this, man. This is fun.
Yeah, he is a beast of an athlete in the college ranks. Wait till he gets up to the big boys.
44-inch vertical.
Yeah, but everybody has that in
no
the NBA. It's a tie. Stop talking. It's a tie. All right, it's over. It's Dunzos. I won because you said the Indiana was in the West. So.
I want to look at the film on that to make sure.
Super Monkey, you were too late. Your vote, you missed the polls. It's just like in voting, you got to make it to the polling station in time. You didn't make it. Sorry, your vote is null and void. Sorry. All right. Real quick, yeah, we gotta hurry here. He's up against the gun. Appreciate everyone that came out.
Yes.
Awesome, fun time again. Godly, appreciate you stopping by. Super Monkey, Chell, Captain Biggs, Tex, Ardon, Silent but Deadly, everybody. It's been much love to all of y'all. Y'all are awesome. Y'all make these so much fun every week. So, you agree, Lex?
Yes, it's always one of the best basically the best part of the week. To be
I enjoy
honest. I like it more than just streaming.
Yes,
general.
I enjoy my streams. I have a blast. As y'all can tell, I have too much fun at times. I do enjoy this every Tuesday, probably more than my own streams, y'all bring the fun level up a lot as well with the chat and the debate and the fact that Super Monkey's acting like he knows who Zion is bullshit. But appreciate the kind words, Silent.
8 seconds till the red goes.
Let's go hang out with Sono. Sono's a great guy. If you don't know him, most of you do. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.